Hey, Simon, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Eh? Hey, thanks for making time on short notice and share. My invite was rattling and not awesome, and you do not have to turn your camera on if you don't want to. I have a couple of notes to share with you, um, but so I'll be glad to get those notes to make sure I cover things. But I will also follow up with an email, so you don't have to retain everything I'm gonna say. Made the difficult decision to restructure the XD org, and as a result, reduce the size of the org. And unfortunately, you're impacted by this change. So your last working day is today, but the good news is you'll be paid through February 2nd. Um, those are the most important pieces of information. Your system access as an employee will be turned off at some point today. I'm not sure when exactly. In your Workday and benefits portal, you'll still have access to until February 2nd as an employee, and then after that, you'll have access to it as an alumni. And then I'm gonna email you the specifics of your severance, benefits, and a few other details that will probably be helpful later when you're ready to go through them. Um, and then on your last day, you'll get your severance documents via DocuSign to sign, and I'll go to your personal email address. I want to pause. I know I just rattled off a whole bunch of really big news. Is there any questions or anything that you want to ask?
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Not a real jovial, joking type video today. Why? There's a lot of you all out there that are getting notified that you'll be losing your job for whatever reason. Over really the last 2 years, there's been a lot of layoffs as a result of the U.S. economy slowing down. And whenever the U.S. economy slows down, it really affects the rest of the world, along with all the other things that are happening, tariffs and, just everything that's going on. And so I want to say from the heart, mi corazón, if you've lost your job, I really, my heart goes out to you. Hold your head up. This too shall pass. If you have to retool, take this time to do so and come back better. But like the young lady we just saw here in the intro, getting that news, especially if you've not done anything wrong or, sounds like she was a great employee. But at the end of the day, businesses, companies that have a duty to return a profit, they're going to look out for themselves. And so in this video, what I want to speak to you guys about is making sure you're prepared, or you are as prepared as possible, because nobody knows what's going to go on tomorrow, regardless of what they tell you. We're taking it day by day. And then for you to also run your household, your life, like the company. And when you are able to do so, whenever downturns come that are no fault of your own, we're able to weather the storm, and that's really the key. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Robert, and on this channel, my goal is to simplify the home loan process by bringing you entertaining videos and videos that cover current topics, but then ultimately putting some lessons that we can all use to help all of us get better. If you don't mind, take a few seconds, hit that like button, the subscribe button, and that notification bell so that you're notified whenever we bring content to the channel. Okay? I thank you in advance, and it really helps the channel. And one other thing, I am a lender, 20 plus years helping those of you that want to finance residential real estate as a purchase, as investments, as in tapping into your equity, all aspects. We're here to help you, again, to simplify that loan process. So if that's you and you'd like to have a conversation, my contact information is pinned in the top comment section below and in the description. So let's get into this video.
Are there any reasons other than just like restructuring? Like, what's the reason for the restructuring?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It has to do with the company is doing consolidated priorities this year and next year. They are looking to so the org, it has nothing to do with performance. It has nothing to do with location and everything to do with the company wanting to do less in tech and take on less priorities. And as a result, the team is being reduced for that to support that.
So that was an excellent question. And I also feel some kind of way for the person laying her off. If you've never had to do it, it's not a good feeling, especially when there's good folks. I could tell she was a very good employee and a good person. But very good question from the young lady getting laid off. And the response, excellent way to respond on a corporate level, and not make things seem personal. But if you're running your life, your household like a business, it boils down to when things get tight, you get rid of the fat, you trim the fat. And sometimes the things that we have to trim are going to affect us mentally as well as physically, because there are things that we like to do. I can tell that she liked this young lady, but to keep the ship moving, to not go down with the ship, you might have to cut off some subscriptions. You might not be able to hang out as much as you were when things were a lot better. There's decisions that have to be made, and you have to make them quickly and not emotionally. And when I say emotionally, a lot of us, too many of us are motivated or driven by what other people think, family members, things of that nature. So hopefully you're in a good space with being comfortable with you are, to where if you have to downsize, house, car, whatever, you got to do what you have to do if you find yourself in a position to where you might lose everything, because you don't want your credit to be negatively affected. You don't want your family to be displaced if at all possible. So put things in order of importance and move quickly. Understand what's a need and what is a want, and then move accordingly, because again, none of us know what's going to happen. And then again, you always have to ask yourself the right questions, not emotional, but looking at things. Hey, it slowed down. We have to do X, Y, and Z until things can get better. Remember, it's not against you. And if you've lived long enough, you're in business, you're going to go through cycles. It is what it is. Let's continue.
Another question I had was around like my remote status. Is that like a factor in this as well?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It did, to be perfectly honest, it did count the remote status in general came up as a potential discussion, but it ended up not being a factor. Well, please don't obviously feel a pressure to do anything today other than take care of yourself.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know, I'm so sorry, Simone. Well, please again, like take today and take care of yourself. And again, I'm really sorry that this is happening.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. See you on
All
LinkedIn, I
right.
guess.
Yeah, shout out to whoever that was too. You might watch this at some point in time on the corporate side. Nothing wrong with being a good person. We need a lot more of that because, again, if you've never had to fire or lay off anyone, not easy to do. So she asked another great question about her location where she was working. Was that a factor? And going forward, guys, it's a factor. Uh, the computer processing power, AI, if you will, agentic agents, we all have to level up. Okay. If you're not in a skill based type profession, where you're boots on the ground and mechanics and things of that nature, anything knowledge wise, knowledge based, you have to level up. You got to keep up, because I don't foresee everybody being replaced, but they won't need as many people to do things. It's another turn of the revolution, and it's computers, right? And so these processing chips can do a lot of things. So I think going forward, there's going to be a lot of new opportunities, but we have to have the right mindset. And like the young lady that's even getting laid off, you have to ask the right questions so that you could be pointed in the right direction to learn how to, as I said, retool or look for opportunities that are out there. Because whenever there's a lot of disruption like this, there are a lot of opportunities. Last thing I'll say is this. She just bought a home and lost the job. And if that's you out there, you can, I could just only imagine how you feel. But I too, back in 2008, I didn't lose a job, but let me give you a little testimony. I was with a very, very good job, pharmaceutical company, which I won't name, but everything was good. Up until 2008, I was also doing this business as well, making very, 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 very good money. And so I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I was like, hey, let me go out on my own. My wife was, I don't know if she was supportive, but she went with it. And, had a young family, only to find out that 2008, really through 13 happened. And man, that was some hard times. I learned a lot. I kicked myself. I worked super, 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 super hard to keep things going. And my reason for telling you this is I wasn't a bad person. I thought things were going to continue the way they were. And that's where I messed up. And so if you find yourself in this situation, again, right the ship as soon as possible. That's what we did. Okay, that's what I did. And thank God perfectly, I didn't file bankruptcy, didn't miss any payments, credit score didn't drop, nothing changed. But I worked hard as you know what, okay? And so I don't want you to have to go through that. And the lesson is this. Always, I'm going to take this from Uncle Dave Ramsey. I believe this. You want to have as much cushion as possible, as much margin, 6 months or more. Because when things happen, I'm very confident that this young lady's going to land on her feet. But if you don't have any margin for when life happens, it makes things a whole lot more difficult. If you are a homeowner, there are programs, especially if you have a government insured loan, FHA, VA, or USDA, not so much help for conventional, but again, don't feel ashamed. Reach out to your loan officer, your realtor. They like to say they supermen and women. Reach out to them. They should be able to provide resources to you if you feel comfortable, if you find yourself on hard times. Hell, reach out to me. You don't know me. There's no judgment. Hopefully you can feel it through the video that I'm giving you, because I'm for you, not against you. That's real talk. But there's ways to get help. That's what help is for when you need it. We're not talking to these habitual stealers out here. We're talking to folks that are good salt of the earth, doing the right thing, and then life happens and you might find yourself in the cross. Reach out. This too shall pass. And again, have as much bandwidth as you can. So if you're getting ready to buy a home, make sure you're not getting in just by the skin of your teeth. That is not a recipe, even if the economy is booming, because life is going to happen. So I think I've made my point, because my daughter says I could get to preaching. I don't want to preach to you guys. But again, heart out to you. Hold your head up. Look for the opportunities. There's going to be a lot of opportunities. And this might be the best thing that ever happened to you. And as I said before, if I could be of any assistance, hit me up in the comment section. Reach out. We'll do as much as we can for you. But I'm cheering for you. Praying that you land on your feet. And yeah, I'll leave it there. If you guys want to go a little deeper, watch this next video. And we'll talk to you soon. Peace.